I'm Jeff Matlow. Welcome to the best leadership podcast ever. Welcome. It is great to see you there. I know you're thinking I don't see you, but I do because I put a video camera in your place so I can watch you all the time. You don't know where it is. I'm not going to tell you, but all I want to say, it is really great to see you. And hey, I always forget to say this, so let me just start off with it. Click that subscribe button so you get updated with every episode here, because gosh darn it, I don't want you to miss any. And oh, by the way, if you like what I talk about on this podcast, you sure are going to love my newsletter, thebestleadershipnewsletter.com. In fact, there are subscription options. You can subscribe for free, of course, but you can also have other options, which allows you to join our subscriber-only community and even get free coaching sessions, plus a hell of a lot more. Go to thebestleadershipnewsletter.com for that. But first, I want to talk about one of my favorite movies, which is Castaway, that Tom Hanks movie. I think it's a kind of love it or hate it type movie. And as far as I know, most people hate it. This is the one where he is FedEx guy, corp executive, the FedEx plane crashes. He's stuck on this island and he's got to survive. Well, that was kind of the impetus for what I'm about to talk to you about. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine you're stranded on an island. You're tired, you're hungry, your sole goal is just to stay alive. And let's say you figured out how to catch one fish and harvest one coconut every day. One fish and one coconut, and it turns out that's the minimum amount of food you need to survive. There's no room for error. So what would happen? Well, naturally, the moment you wake up, you're going to focus your day on how do you catch that one fish and harvest that one coconut. Because if you can't do that every single day, you're going to die. And so that is what drives your everyday. Now let's imagine that one day you figure out a way to catch 2 fish per day and harvest 2 coconuts. Suddenly, you have more than you need. You're living with a surplus. And because you have that extra food, you now have flexibility. You can plan, you can rest, maybe you can trade with the hostiles on the other side of the island for some of their food. Suddenly you've got hope, you have options. And that's what happens with a surplus. You get options. Without surplus, you're always living in survival mode. And so this is the part where I ask you an important question. Why are you living your life like you're always in survival mode? Living in survival mode is draining. It's like trying to catch water with a sieve. You're always going to be thirsty for more. When you're in survival mode, everything feels urgent. You're constantly striving to grasp that carrot, but it's always just out of your reach. So you wake up stressed, remembering all the unsolved problems left over from the day before, and you spend your day reacting to issues, putting out fires, and trying to juggle far too many things with not enough hands to do it. When you're in survival mode, you say yes because it's easier than saying no. You avoid conversations because you're afraid to have conflict. Your mind is constantly moving because there's no time for it to stay still. And by the time your head hits the pillow again tonight, you'll have racked up a bigger mess of more problems that you need to balance on the Jenga tower of your life, and you just can't wait for it all to get better. But I'm telling you, it won't. Not when you're in survival mode. Because when you're trying to survive, there's no margin for error. There are no opportunities for growth. You are so focused on keeping your head above water, on paying the bills, on doing your work, on blindly swimming forward, that you can't even take the time to find out if you're swimming in the right direction. Living life in survival mode will drain the life out of you. Fortunately, there's another choice, and that's living a surplus life. See, living a surplus life is about choosing to live in abundance. When you live in abundance, you have options, you have hope. Now, before you roll your eyes at me, let me be clear. I'm not talking about a surplus of money or material stuff. I don't care how wealthy you are or how many things you've stockpiled. Living a surplus life means much more than your ton of tangible assets. See, living a surplus life means giving more love, more kindness, and more friendship than you expect in return. It means being a better friend to everybody than they are to you. It's about being a better partner and better parent than you can ever get in return. When you live a surplus life, you tip more at restaurants because that extra dollar won't impact your pocket as much as it will impact theirs. And living a surplus life means not negotiating as much with a local vendor who's just trying to get a fair price and earn a good living. As it turns out, there are 5 ways to start living a surplus life. Let me tell you what they are. Let me explain each one for you. First one is time surplus. Consider this. There's exactly enough time in your life to do all the things that are most important to you. Let me say that again because this is important. There is exactly enough time in your life to do all the things that are most important to you. Every minute of every day, you're the one who decides your priorities. You decide how you want to use your time. So to live a surplus life means to stop feeling constantly rushed. It's about creating space to think and to slow down, maybe meditate or stretch or exercise. A surplus life means creating time for you and for the things that matter most in your life. That is a time surplus. And that leads to an energy surplus. See, energy is a commodity. It's passed from one person to another, and you often don't even think of its impact. But I'm going to tell you there are 2 types of people in this world. There are those that give you energy and those that take it away. And living in surplus means choosing to charge people's batteries rather than drain them away. It means being the person that gives people energy and removing yourself from those that do the opposite. And number 3 is an emotional surplus. Stop getting controlled by reactivity and resentment. Those are the devils of survival mode. To live in a surplus is to be emotionally available with no expectation of return. Learn to regulate your emotions. Learn to give to others, to be present when they speak, to open up and to embrace your authenticity. And number 4 is a financial surplus. Creating financial surplus means making your financial choices from a place of intention, not desperation. See, the dollar you save today is going to turn into thousands before you know it. And the dollar you give to somebody in need is going to create more value for both of you in the end. And number 5 is kindness surplus. To be kind is the greatest gift you can give to others. Whether it's your family, your friends, or strangers on the street, you have the choice to give more kindness than you take. Be more selfless, more generous, more giving than what you expect back. You see, your ability to be kind is endless. You just have to tap into your surplus. And those are the 5 ways to live a surplus life: a time surplus, an energy surplus, an emotional surplus, a financial surplus, and a kindness surplus. Hey, the Beatles once said that the love you take is equal to the love you make. But after a few decades of thinking about that, I disagree. I'm pretty sure you can make a heck of a lot more love than you think. It takes a conscious effort to live a life in surplus. But tell me, do you think you'd be a better person or worse if you decided to live that way? Would you bring more value to the world or less by living a surplus life? See, life changes the moment you realize you've got a lot more to give. That's where growth happens. That's where you build, not just maintain, and it's where you lead, not just follow. In fact, surplus mode is where you live, not just exist. So here's my challenge to you. Find one area of your life where you feel you're scraping by and ask yourself what a surplus would look like. Then take that one small step towards it. Hey, I've got more than enough coconuts here. It's your time to grab one. If you want some help building that career you've always wanted or being the leader you think you can be, reach out to me, leadership@bytitleonly.com. If you like this, share it with a friend. Either way, I appreciate you, It's great to talk with you. I'll remove that camera I talked about earlier. I guess it's kind of creepy now that you mention it. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.